All right, hello and good evening. I don't have too much time as I've already been allowed that Sunny Bhai is actually racing against time. He has to be somewhere else, but he's given this opportunity, and this is for you people also. You can ask your questions directly to Mr. Sunil Gavaskar, and I'll try to convey as many questions as possible. Sunny Bhai, only 6 matches left, or rather, 6 T20 internationals are left before India head to Australia for the T20 World Cup. What do you think India would be looking at, in these 6 games? The perfect 11, the 11 that they see India would play in the first match against Pakistan in the T20 World Cup. Should you start with that today?
Firstly, Rahul, I have to rush simply because there is police traffic for the match at Chandigarh. So kindly excuse me, please.
Sunny,
All
please do
those,
not
no, no,
embarrass. Please do not
all the
embarrass
others
me.
also, all the others, please excuse me. Apparently, there's a heavy police on the bus. But I think what these 6 matches will do is it'll give India a chance to get some rhythm going. Look, never mind what happens in these matches. Obviously, India would want to win, but the most important thing is to get the rhythm going for their bowlers, particularly Jasprit Bumrah, Harshal Patel, who've been out of action for a while, for them to get a few overs under their belt to get their rhythm. For somebody like a Rohit Sharma, who's not been in the best of form, he scored once but hasn't scored some other times. I think for him and Rahul, for example, for them to get going, to get the feel of the bat in the middle of the bat, ball in the middle of the bat, is something which is very, very crucial. Also, to be able to then these 6 matches will give you an idea as to who your finisher should be. Should it be Hardik Pandya, Dinesh Karthik, Rishabh Pant, all these things? So I think these 6 matches give the Indian management a fabulous opportunity to be able to try and get these things together.
So anyway, a lot of people have been saying that why not try Virat as an opener? He has opened for India and of course for his franchisee also in the past. But that idea, of course, they gave up that idea. But in the last game that India played in the Asia Cup, he opened, got 122 not out. Of course, that was a dead rubber against Afghanistan. But are you in support of that idea that everybody has been saying?
Well, everybody, I don't know who everybody is. The most important people are Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma. And as of yesterday, when we read about their media
Yes.
conference, they were very clear that Rahul is going to open the batting. So I don't think there is any need or any point in trying to talk about this subject anymore.
So anyway, right at the start, you took a few names: Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, Dinesh Karthik, Rishabh Pant. Then the two fast bowlers also were coming back after a lengthy injury layoff. Do you see Rishabh Pant in that 11? Whatever the perfect 11 that India would like to field against Pakistan in that T20 World Cup and tonight also.
I think it depends greatly on these 5-6 matches. How he performs in these 5-6 matches will probably determine what happens in the World Cup. So I'm pretty certain that the management will give him plenty of opportunities in these games. In these 6 games, you could possibly even see him coming in at number 4 to give him some more overs or something like that. You could, depending on the situation, depending on the match situation. Because look, he's a game changer. We all know how he has changed games in Test matches, etc. And they're all hoping that he'll be able to do that in the T20 format. It's a little bit difficult in the T20 format to consistently hit like like is expected. But look, he's a superb talent, and clearly, I think he'll be given all the opportunities.
And Sunny Bhai, Rajneesh Kumar is asking you, what will be the spinner's role in the World Cup, considering you have bigger grounds in Australia?
It's a huge role because it's not easy to hit the spinners. So the boundary fielders will have to be very important because they'll not only be taking those catches, but they'll also be looking to save those 2 runs. So the spinners will have a big role. The leg spinner in particular will be that much more effective. Having said that, I think what has happened is now the thinking that it's a huge crowd has been to a great extent been neutralized by the kind of bats that are on offer today. The bats are so good that even mishits are going for sixes. So with the bats being the way they are, and of course with the guys doing all these, physical conditioning, weight training, etc., the players are stronger today, and so the size of the ground may not matter as much, but it can be crucial. It certainly can be crucial.
And of course, Ravindra Jadeja is now out of the T20 World Cup. Do you think that India will have that temptation to play a Rishabh Pant because you don't have a left-hander in that entire middle order? Just in case Akshar Patel makes it to that 11, he's the first and only left-hander in that 11. So will there be a temptation just to break that monotony, to have somebody like Rishabh Pant in that middle order? Although his performance in the T20s, he hasn't justified the true potential that he has, all these years.
Look, I think if you have a good team, it doesn't matter whether it's a team of right-handers or left-handers. At the end of the day, you look at your team balance, you look at the opposition, you look at the kind of pitch there is, and accordingly, you will select your 11. Accordingly, you will maybe look to do some matchups or thereabouts, and therefore, according to that, you will probably pick your final 11. So you could actually have a situation where both Rishabh Pant and Akshar Patel play, two left-handers playing in the same team. You could have a situation where only one plays, or you could have a situation where both don't play. But it all depends on the form. And again, like whatever the opposition is, do the opposition have too many left-hand bowlers, right-hand batsmen? That kind of thinking will come into play for sure.
Sunny, one thing that you would want to see this Indian team, heading into the T20 World Cup, that you would like this Indian team to do? One particular area where you think that you would want this team to improve?
But as far as I'm concerned, really, it's the 15th to the 20th over, 16th to the 20th over. That is where in those 24 balls, I would like to see something like 60 odd runs being scored. Because that can be a game changer. If in those 24 balls, 60, you from 120 you suddenly go to 180, or from 140 you've suddenly gone to 190, 200. So I think that's the kind of thing that I'd like to see. But overall, in these 6 matches, I'd like to see India win 5 out of 6, because then they will go to Australia with a bounce in their steps.
And Sunny, for the last, we know the kind of form that Virat Kohli was in the last couple of years, and people thought that he was out of form, but not many, at least in the team management and his teammates didn't say that he was out of form. So by one innings, can we say that he's back in form now? Just one innings against a team like Afghanistan, who played their last game just a day before, and that was emotionally very draining for them also. So would it be safe and right to say that Virat Kohli is back in form?
Well, he got 100. Nobody else did. And why does that happen? Because the man has got extra class. Never forget that. Extra class is an absolute, thing that decides how good or bad a player is. And therefore, I'm getting calls to go, so I'm just quickly going to answer that. I said the man's got extra class. When people talk about A or B or C has scored runs against a lesser opposition, that is when you ask, but why did the other batsmen score runs? Why did they only that A, B, C or whoever has scored runs? Because he's special, because he's got the class. And that is what people have to remember. We are always like, we like to doubt some of our players. I've said about the lack of runs that Kohli had, or lack of centuries that Kohli had, that the first mistake he was making was where he was getting out. Now, here he had a bit of luck going in these matches, which every player requires, batsman, bowler, every player requires. And he had that. He's cashed in on it, he's capitalized on it. And let's just hope that, that this run of form continues.
All right, guys, we'll have to let you go. I'm afraid that is all the time that we have with Mr. Gavaskar.
Thanks, guys.
Of course, he will be back. And thank you very much, Sunny. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Enjoy the game today.
You too, Sunny. Thank you. All right. So that was Mr. Gavaskar. And of course, India has to play that one more game, a game against Australia. That's the start of a 3-match T20 international series. Do watch this space on Sports Today, because we'll get you the weather update also, because I just heard somebody, in fact, one of my colleagues was saying that the weather is not too promising, but we are hoping for a good game later this evening. And what would be the possible combination for Team India B? And we'll join you again on Sports Today at 6:45 with the entire entourage of this team. So see you guys. Bye bye.